Hey, what is up, you guys? You're watching Team APS. A lot of people have been asking us to talk about the new archetypes this year. I couldn't really frame this into a video, so what we're gonna do this time is actually just kind of talk about all of them. Just give our general thoughts. Some of these aren't gonna necessarily be positive thoughts. It's just gonna be like what we think of, say, Crystons or Shinobirds or Zoodiacs. We'll do it. Let's do it. It'll be fun. We'll start in order. Decks that existed before now, but are like getting, I guess, technically some more support this year. Crystons. I'm building this.
He is.
What do you think of Crystons?
I think they are a more weird version of Yang Zings, like original Yang Zings. Before.
Yeah, they feel like that.
That's kind of like they're like Yang Zings without the Yang Zing creation, pretty much.
They feel like, to me, like Yang Zings mixed with like Phantom Knights in a way, because they all have those like graveyard effects, and so it's kind of like. I mean, the main problem I've had when playtesting them is that even though they're fun and you can like synchro on your opponent's turn, the main issue I've had is just that like it's hard to get started.
Yeah, like it's a really slow start, and also
you have to pop a card, and they just don't have that card all the time.
Even then, especially a lot of things, like even though your extra deck can be very versatile, a lot of things that they're going to go into, especially early game, is very specific.
Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot.
You have to set your plays up for those type of things as well, and it's a fun deck. I played the deck as well actually, but it's just that being very specific is just really rough in this format. This game.
All in all, I mean, it's going to be fun to play. Just I guess don't expect to win with it. Next thing, Wind Witches. That's another sort of... Well, I guess we're technically starting with other things. Predaplants. They get support soon, right?
Yeah, they get the extra stuff that you're actually going to use. You're not really using the old stuff.
Yeah, you really don't. What do you think of that engine that's like Terratop? The one that you like pitch a card...
Pitch and special.
And you search any fusion card? What do you think of that?
I think that's wonderful, actually. I mean,
what's that?
Who isn't waiting for that? I mean, I'm waiting for that my damn self. And I actually plan on playing Predaplants just personally. But just that little, like I said, the little engine alone for anybody.
That seems really good.
Just anything that's an engine in TCG or in the game period is just really good.
So let's just assume here, not to get into banlist politics, let's assume that Speedroid Terratop gets limited or banned or something like that.
Okay.
Would this be the new Terratop engine? Would it replace that?
No, but. It would be. I think it would be a close contender.
Why would you say no?
I just say no just because I still feel like Terratop is still just. I mean, even though essentially it's still the same thing, getting two level 3s to make a rank 3 type thing.
Right.
I just feel like Terratop is still essentially just you just can't beat that. It's
special summonable. I think is the big thing.
So you're pretty much not really losing any advantage off of the Terratop ever.
That's true.
So I think this is
Terratop's a plus, whereas this is technically like a 0.
I mean, yeah, you really it's kind of like an even. Yeah, it's kind of a break even. So I mean, of course, being able to search a poly or
searching instant fusion is going to probably be the big part about it.
It's the best part about it, but that's just.
No, I guess when I think about Predaplants themselves, that just means that they're not gonna. I don't know enough about them. I don't think that deck will necessarily get played. I just think that engine will.
Predaplants will be another deck itself, another archetype that will just become an engine, and not just that little 2-card combo for instant fusion. Just certain cards in the archetype are really good for certain effects.
It'll just be it'll
be a little toolbox for something bigger.
All right, Wind Witches. You are building this, yes?
I am. I do want to do the Wind Witches. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the Speed War thing currently. But I just like their art. They're fucking pretty as shit.
I love that they can make one card indestructible Crystal Wing.
Who doesn't like Crystal Wing?
I say love, but I mean hate. I actually hate it.
Well, I say love, and I fucking mean love it like fucking love it.
I played against the other night on Dev Pro or whatever, and it made 2 Crystal Wings in one turn. It was some crazy play. I don't remember how it did it. And it made me mad. So no, but the deck is actually cool. One thing I think is really neat about them is that they're wind. So we're kind of seeing wind monsters actually be able to do things, and it makes making clear wing, crystal wing.
Yeah, all the wind archetype monsters, and some of the wind synchros are actually pretty good. Of course, those two being the best. So
no, the things we've talked about, it's probably likely to be kind of a meta contender. So do you think Wind Witches will be will they? How are they going to compete?
Once again, even though we're talking about archetypes, I don't feel like Wind Witches are their own. I mean, they're their own archetype, but they're not their own.
They do have to mix with.
Yeah, they're not their own deck, so they're going to be another great engine for something bigger. So
what do they usually mix with? I know besides the Speedroids.
Besides Speedroids, usually Eidolons. Wind Witch Eidolon is just it's great. I mean, the first turn, unkillable Crystal Wing plus other follow-up plays behind that. with the and I can't think the Eidolon Wind monster, but just
yeah, it has the Book of Moon effect.
Yeah, the Book of Moon. Yeah, people know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of the name of it.
That's right.
I think they'll be.
So that's gonna pretty much be it.
They'll be like, pretty much they'll be like a meta anti-meta deck when everything comes out. So I'm actually looking forward to that deck. Just being honest.
InfernoIDs. What do we? Now you're building this, so
I've always had InfernoIDs. You know that.
Yeah,
that is my deck.
Thumbs up if you want to see his profile on that. I know you guys do. InfernoIDs. So okay, first question: which is better, lawn mowing or just like regular? And how much better? How will it be?
Well, in a lot of testing, I've done a shit ton of testing here in the last 3 weeks maybe, if not longer. But anyway, I love InfernoIDs. I think that the lawnmower version is better than the regular version of InfernoIDs. One, because back with our regular version of Inferno, we relied on certain cards, Seki cards like Reasoning and Monster Gate, things like that. And with this build, you can still play it, but you probably won't though. But you don't have to rely on it as much. And with the lawnmowing thing, there's one card that's not even in Inferno that makes that deck so great, and that's fucking Fairy Tale Snow. Snow in that deck is amazing. So, and then of course, you can search your lawnmowing with your left arm offering. So even though it's a 60 card, 50 plus or 60 card deck, there's just the fact that you never feel like it's a dead draw because if you get any of your combo pieces, you're making plays. And even outside of lawnmowing, they have the new card Void Feast, which allows you to special summon three of them monsters, 3 Inferno monsters from the deck. You're not negating effects. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
What do you usually get with that? Just out of curiosity.
It just depends on the plays, but there's so many plays you can make where some people like to get a Decatron, a Homedic, and a Petrulia because it has to go up to 8 stars. Or a lot of people,
is 8.
Yeah, and Decatron also get the effect. Or a lot of people like to get. They actually run the level 6 now, which nobody ran before. It's called Jet. Yeah, basically, you get the level 6, you get Jet, whatever, and you get 2 Decatrons. So you can, and both Decatrons get their effects as well. So you still get, so you pretty much you get so many plays.
So
off
you're actually
one
setting
card.
up with that card.
Yeah, and it's a trap card, but it doesn't matter because you can search it out with Void Vanishment, which is really awesome. So that's not a
so lawnmowing Infernoids are going to be pretty much the version that you play.
Fucking awesome.
That's fair.
I'm excited.
See, I've never known much about that archetype.
See this excitement on my face?
Now I know. Alright, so Shinobirds. I have a funny story about that. Yeah, I know. That archetype it seemed cool. It really did. Like, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, rituals, spirits, together, what? Like, it kind of, I questioned it at first, right? Like, I was like, okay, obviously it's going to be tough to make this work. But I was just like, oh, well, Konami will make it good. It's 2017. Every archetype's decent. No. It's really not. It is as bad as...
I am thoroughly disappointed with Shinobirds. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who comment on this video because you guys are meta haters and you think Shinobirds are the best thing since sliced bread. And you're allowed to have your opinion.
I want to like them.
And and Paul knows me. I'm an avid spirit player. Even people who've ever seen me in past videos know that I love spirits. So my thought process was the same thing. I'm like, hey, we finally get a spirit that we can special summon and that does stuff. And then you play the deck, and it is so lackluster. Of course, there's always, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, but there's always those times where you get a good hand and you get a good feel and you make this big-ass Baron or Baroness, and you're like, oh my god, it does so much. But then other than that, you're not doing anything.
I hate that you can't get the monsters from the field fast enough, and then when you summon the rituals, they just get bounced to the hand, the end phase. So
So you get tokens, but who cares? Like, the tokens don't mean anything.
Alright, so elephant in the room then. Zodiacs. What do we think of these?
They're good. I mean, let's just be honest. They're good. I mean, they're not hard to stop. Don't get me wrong. They're not hard to stop.
Are they as good as people say that they are? That is the real question.
Yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because they've been proven that they.
He knows more about this than me, so listen to him.
They do well. They're a great deck. They're even a great engine in themselves. I mean, Rat Pierre, Momo Rat, whatever you want to call it, they're great. It's just the fact that a lot of things, especially with Zoodiacs, a lot of times their plays are so standard that you know what they're going to do. And I say yes and no because yes, it's a good deck, but at the same time, there are other things that can beat the deck, and I feel like other things that can really beat the deck out. But we know that the deck is going to do great. Simply because of the number of people that are going to play it.
Yeah,
a deck has a lot of success based because of the fact that 6 people are playing, and this is just me just putting something out there.
Right.
6 people are playing Mermaid, but 100 people are playing Zodiac. Let's say that Mermaid can beat the hell out of Zodiac. It's just the fact that there are 100 Zodiac players.
Yeah, the numbers just mean it's going to work out that way.
This deck overall is going to have a better showing than the 6 Mermaid players. So
My second
That's
question
just gonna
is it better as its own deck or as an engine? Because I've heard mixed things.
I feel like it's better as an engine. I mean, because honestly, playing when you play against pure Zoodiac, like their fields are pretty fucking lackluster. If it's not for a Dryden, you don't give a shit about anything else in that deck. Like you don't care. Now, of course, there's the whip tail that lets them banish monsters. Whoop de fucking do. That doesn't even matter to be honest with you. Like if it's not for Dryden, there's not much else in that deck. Like the deck always has to splash something. They have to put Kaijus in. Or they're gonna go. Hell, I've seen
a lot of.
I've seen Zoodiacs. I saw Zoodiacs and Ray Raptors yesterday. Okay, I saw Zoodiac engine and Ray Raptors. And you know what the problem was? The Zoodiacs didn't do shit to me, but the Ray Raptors kept coming off with random shit.
Yeah, my assessment of them was that I felt like the kind of big weaknesses I saw were it is, and I know a lot of meta decks are, but it still feels like super susceptible to max C.
Yeah.
It's obviously susceptible to like losing Rat Peer. So people aren't lying. Like if you get rid of Rat Peers, like with DD Crow and other certain things, it actually can set them back pretty hard. Like, you know, I was playing against it and, you know, they use like Daigusa Emerald and stuff to like recycle them when they've done the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you just DD Crow it or something like that, that actually can sometimes really just turn them off.
Ghost overhurts them at the wrong time. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
just kind of getting rid of that. And then also, they, unlike many archetypes of, you know, recent years, don't actually float.
They don't.
So, Raigeki, Dark Hole, and like stuff like that actually, like, I mean, they're aiming to OTK you. Let's not, you know.
I mean, the deck is good. The deck is
but
good.
when they don't, and like you would Dark Hole them, they're just kind of like.
Yeah, if you board wipe, they pretty much don't have many follow ups. I mean,
so I'm not really sure. I don't think it's gonna be tier 0. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's going to be like
tier 1,
a dominant deck.
Tier 1.
I want to dispel the whole myth that it's gonna like be anywhere as bad as Pepe was.
God no,
I really don't think it will be as bad as
Pepe was amazing.
I thought Pepe was far more flexible.
Yes, definitely.
Far, honestly, more like can make scarier fields than Zoodiacs can. I don't know. That's just kind of my assessment.
Like a lot of times, you especially currently what we have out now, they'll put Zoodiacs and everything. But a lot of times, I'll play against a pure Zoodiac player. They'll in their field with like a Dryden, an Emerald, and an Invoker, and like back row. And I'm like, okay, so
yeah, it's not the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, once you get past the back row, like Dryden means nothing. You pop one card, that's it. And then I'm just like, and there's so many, and decks these days can do so much more that if you're in with just one Dryden and your back row is it doesn't matter.
Average.
Yeah, you know, it's just you lose. I mean, you really do. And the monsters have 0 attack, Paul.
That's the thing. Like the monsters are small.
So
what about Eidolons? This is actually the one that I was most curious about because the way it operates is kind of weird since it's like they're just meant to merge with other things.
They are.
Clearly, he's excited. He clearly likes this.
I'm a shit-all player, and I mean, you can relate them to, and also Final Fantasy. I like Final Fantasy as well. So
that's what they're called. Continue.
About to break some shit in this room. Anyway, I'm a shit-all player, and even though I mean they're not in the exact same vein as shit-alls or vice versa, but they still are reminiscent of shit-alls for me personally. So I want to play them. Also, just like I said, I like Final Fantasy and that's Final Fantasy.
I like the theme.
Yeah, you know, the theme is awesome, and plus their effects are just fucking amazing. So once again, and of course, this is what we're talking about with the Eidolon Win Witch thing. Like I feel like that's going to be a great meta, anti-meta deck, and it's just something I like. Making Crystal Wing, making monsters that banish shit, monsters that do piercing, monsters that can book a moon. Like they're and the recurring effects. The field spell's great. The little summons,
that field spell's great. It
you searches
the thing, and then it protects all your fusion summons. Like the spell can't be negated, and when the monster gets summoned, they can't respond. That's actually really, really good.
I love plays like that. Like should have been had that, but we didn't get it, and we also lost Construct. So fuck you, Konami. But
yeah, so what are the best things to combine Eidolons with?
Wind Witches. That's it.
Anything else?
I mean, you could
technically anything can.
Anything can sort of go into anything, but the best, since we're specifically saying the best, I'm gonna say Wind Witches hand down. And if you guys have any other options that are actually the best, that's fine. Not just options of what it can go into, just what are the best. But I'm gonna stick with Wind Witches. So
I think that I've seen Zoodiac Eidolons. I don't know really.
I've seen that too. It's actually pretty. I've seen it's Zoodiac, so you see Zoodiac anything. But yeah, Zoodiac Eidolons was not bad at all. But once again, anything with Zoodiac as an engine, just a small Zoodiac engine for the Dryden play mostly. And then the rest is everything else is the archetype. That's pretty much what it is. So
I saw it with Blue Eyes. I got interested in that. Saw my Blue Eyes deck. I was like, it's cool. What? You don't like it?
I didn't like it in freaking Ray Raptors. I definitely don't like it in Blue Eyes.
Well, yeah, but Blue Eyes can make the light one. The light one isn't that?
Are you talking about Eidolons or talking about Zoodiac?
Eidolons.
Oh, okay.
Eidolons with Blue Eyes.
Okay, I thought you were Zoodiac. Okay.
My bad. I don't think I
think but the light one is great though.
Yeah, it's the one that can negate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like really interested in it because I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, Blue Eyes can make, because Lyle was the strongest one before the ultimate.
And he's the ultimate Providence. You can't beat that.
And it's really cool. You can negate things. I was like, oh.
And another thing about Eidolons that I think is probably the best thing ever, is when you are fusion summoning, you can use your opponent's
graveyard. Yeah. Oh,
that is so amazing.
That's actually really good.
That is relevant as hell.
I think that means that
oh my God.
That effectively means that when you make Eidolons with Wind Witches, it really becomes like a super anti-meta strat. Because like, you've got these control monsters and you can get rid of things like Gray, which is huge.
Right. You can't beat that.
That's really cool.
That is amazing. I fucking
Eidolons is something I will admit I'm actually looking forward to. Legitimately, like I wasn't looking forward to Zoodiacs. I wasn't really looking forward to all these things. Crystals are cool because I'm building them, but Eidolons seem like they're actually just neat by design.
Give me your Eidolons. I will make you proud.
So, I think that's everything.
And we forgot one more.
What is it? What's going on here?
Since we have to make sure we mention all the ones that are current. DVDs.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's. I thought that their 2 weeks were over.
Well, since there's no.
Is that how that works?
I mean, typically, and I'm pretty sure people will still play DVDs, but they still have that really good, decent board that they can make.
Siegfried, Crystal, and Harbinger.
Yeah, which is still a pretty standard good board with any relevant back row. I still don't think that they'll be.
My gripe with that deck was always, we've talked about this a bit. My gripe with the deck was always just that it felt like a bit too much of a combo deck in a format where things kind of all
are standard.
Things are much more like super efficient, and it's kind of needing to have a couple of cards to get started and get off the ground.
Right.
And that just in 2017 sometimes doesn't cut it. Now, I've seen it brick a bit, is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, and that was my thing too. Actually, when I first even heard about all the new DVD support and everything before I play tested, like you see everybody play testing online, and they make these crazy boards, and like, holy shit, I gotta play this. I own the deck now, and I'm just not impressed. I'm just not really into it. I mean, I have everything. I have literally everything for the deck: Desires, Crystal Wing, all that. I play it, and the thing is, sometimes it only takes maybe 2 cards to make a really great combo. Mm-hmm. But like you said, the deck can brick. So sometimes, and also, even outside of just bricking, the deck has such a high ceiling that even though you can make a lot of plays, a lot of times, even though there's a lot of plays to make, there's a lot of wrong plays to make.
So, it's easy to screw up with.
You're doing a lot of good shit, and you think your field is great, but you screwed up somewhere, and now you lost the game. So the deck, I still think the deck is good, but it's not for a beginner. It's definitely
it's not beginner friendly. I was very surprised they made it a structure deck. Actually,
I wasn't.
I just felt like they would. It just seems like something that would come in a normal pack. Because structure decks tend to, on the whole, be like pick up and play.
Yeah.
Monarchs were, the one that had like the Return of the Dragon Lords. They didn't really want to pick up and play. I feel like DDDs being so demanding was really strange.
But the thing was, DDD, the only thing that they needed outside of the structure deck were the slimes.
Yeah. It just seems like a weird structure to make.
I can understand that, right? But we already knew it was coming out in the structure deck. It was like a year and a half in the waiting, so we knew that was going to happen. But
yeah.
So
I think that's everything.
Everything that I feel like is relevant.
I can't think of much else. So that's what you guys. Usually people ask for me to talk about these archetypes. So those are our actual, just legitimate
opinions,
thoughts. If you had to pick a favorite kind of thing that you.
Eidolons.
Not Wind Witches? Not.
I mean, Wind Witches, but they're going in Eidolons.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
I think my favorite, I guess, is.
I'm lying. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you off. InfernoID. I can't lie. That's my baby.
That's what I expected to hear.
That's my baby.
Mine are Eidolons, yes, because like it's creative, but other than that, Crystons. I'm building it, so I think that's it for the video. Remember to follow us on social media, join the Discord, sponsor stuff in the description. We'll catch you guys in the next video.
Peace.